Hey there, welcome to the show. My name is Jamie Zweer, and I am the host of the Oh How Healthy podcast and the founder of Oh How Healthy Insiders, my signature membership site showing busy women how to simplify healthy eating so that it can fit into your budget and your schedule, not only for your health, but your family's health as well. I know that you're busy, so I'm going to keep these episodes short, sweet, and to the point. And without any further ado, let's dive into today's episode. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I have a special guest for everyone today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and say who she is and what she does. So, hello. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Alexandra, and I am a wardrobe stylist. Some of you might be wondering what even that means. And for me, that means that I help to bring out your most heroic self through style and articulating that visually for how you want to show up for your big, beautiful life.
Yes. I loved when we connected online, I knew that this was going to be a lovely match because what I do, which is, help busy families, busy women really find and be happy with their own body. And going hand in hand with that is finding really beautiful and then flattering clothes to fit your body. And I know for myself that this was a big part of the transition into truly being okay. Because I know for some people, a lot of the times it can, when we say like self-love or body love, that can be a huge leap when we're coming from being yo-yo dieters or diet hoppers to and being in that space where we're not really in love with our body to then saying, oh, wow, I love my body. That can be a huge leap. So for me, what a really anchor was that helped me really transition into liking my body, because guess there are days, there are weeks, there are months, right? We're women, we go through that, is finding clothes that really made me feel really good about myself. And I shared this story before about how, and I shared it with you just earlier about how I had these shorts and I when it came to summer, I dreaded summer all the time and I never wanted to wear summer clothes. And I was thinking about it and I would open my closet and I would see, summer shorts or whatever that I've had for years and I just dreaded them. And then once I realized that, hey, Jamie, you can find really flattering clothes. Maybe it's a romper, maybe it's a skirt, maybe it's a dress. And then when I found clothes that A, fit me properly and B, was flattering to my body, I was like, oh my God, look at me. I'm actually enjoying wearing summer clothes. So that's really beautiful that you do this for people. You help them find these flattering, beautiful clothes, right? And
yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, so what are some things that you take a client through, that you walk someone through to help them find that for themselves?
Yeah, so one of the things that is huge for me that I feel like sometimes gets missed, and I know I was talking to you, Jamie, about this earlier, where when the big self-care movement kind of started to come to play, as a stylist, I felt like style and fashion looked a little bit left out of that movement, and I'm such an advocate for it, where it's a huge part of self-care and feeling good in your own body, because you're highlighting the parts of your body that you do enjoy, where just like in positive thinking, we want to get rid of the negative and focus on the positive. And it's the same thing when it comes to your body and dressing for how you want to feel. And what I do with my clients is first we kind of walk through how you want to show up for your life and what values do you hold, how do you want to present yourself to others, but most importantly, how do you want to feel? How do you want to wake up? How do you want to tackle your day, whether it's going to work, whether it's taking care of kids, juggling a whole bunch of things. You don't want to feel frumpy. You don't want to feel like you just putting on clothes to put on clothes, because clothes can actually be extremely energizing, which is what my goal is with my clients, to create energizing wardrobes so that they can go and tackle the rest of their lives. There's a lot going on, and a lot of my clients are moms, and they are also career women, and so they are busy and do not have the time to really focus and take care of themselves, but allowing, sort of that time investment for yourself goes such a long way. It definitely goes hand in hand when you're trying to take care of, your inner body with health and everything. You also want to exude that on the outside too. One of my things I always say is like, let's match your inner glow to your outer glow.
Yeah, it is all about how you feel. Like it's truly about that, and so it what you put on directly affects how you feel. And sometimes I'll notice this and not really even draw the connection between, one day I put on a shirt that's really tight. It makes my, stomach feel fat, and, it makes me feel self-conscious that my jeans might be digging into my skin. But really, if I just swap the shirt to something a little more flattering, a little more fitting a little bit better, it immediately changes things. So yeah, it really is about how you feel. And then certain flattering cuts, right, and colors can be beneficial.
Yes, absolutely. And just taking the time to get to know your body.
Yeah.
And kind of what I mean by that is I have an exercise that I do with my clients, which it's an exercise that I preface with, it can be a little bit unnerving and vulnerable and uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
But I ask them to do it alone, and you are usually in your bra and panty, and you're standing in front of a mirror. And it's to appreciate your body and to say out loud the parts of your body that you appreciate. And then we focus on highlighting those parts of your body with your clothing and really highlighting that. So if you love your long legs, then we're going to put you in skirts, and we're going to put you in dresses, and we're going to show off those long legs. If maybe you don't love your midsection, we're going to kind of disguise that so that that's maybe not something we're highlighting. But we're also going to focus on your body type and what shapes and necklines and cuts really flatter, as well as colors. A lot of people don't realize, like certain colors, maybe they keep buying a certain color, but then they realize, I never wear those shirts. It might be because you put it on and you realize something's off. So really almost studying yourself and kind of learning those little details and tips, which is one thing I love as I coach my clients. I want them to actually learn these things so that they can implement it for themselves.
Yeah. What are some?
I feel like is important.
What are some things? I know that there's different body types. Like, isn't there like 4 or 5 different body types? What are some things that people? Yeah. What are some things that people can look at their body and see if they're like the apple body type or the pear body type? What are some things you can look at for that?
So, I actually have, which I can share with you, Jamie, so that you can have everyone else kind of get on board with that, is a little freebie thing on body types and just learning a little bit about them. And there is absolutely something to it, and it's important, but I always also say it's not a, for this, I can't wear that, but then get disappointed because they might see certain trends that they do want to try and wear. And there is a way that we can make that work for you. We just have to learn the rules before we can break them.
Yeah.
So, but there are definitely certain ways that we can determine, depending on, like, if your shoulders and your hips, when you measure them, the best way I actually have my clients figure out their body type on their own is have them take a photo of themselves, like in tight clothing, like yoga pants and maybe a tight tank top. Take a selfie in front of a mirror, or have someone take a photo of you, upload it onto the computer, and draw vertical lines from your shoulders straight down. And then that way you can tell, and kind of in my little diagram, it will show you what that means. But if your shoulders and your hips match up, you're probably more of a column. Whereas if your hips extend past that line, you're probably maybe more in the pear or apple shape. If your waist goes in quite significantly, you might be more of an hourglass shape. So drawing those lines, you can also even print the picture and physically draw those lines if you want, but it helps you to really get a feel for your body type and then focus on, what silhouettes are going to really highlight you and elongate you and make you really focus on the parts of your body that you love and you're proud of and that you want to show off so that you feel really good and you want to wear those pair of jeans that hug your hips just right so that it gives you a little extra pep in your step. Like, those are the things that we want to focus on so that you can feel your absolute best and present yourself the way that you want to.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure everyone will love that suggestion from you and that little freebie. And then do you have like recommendations on there as to then, like, let's say you're more of a column type, like what sort of clothes might fit best, or they would then reach out to you?
Absolutely. So there's a little kind of blurb for each one after figuring out your body type of some key things to avoid.
Yeah.
I feel like that's most important is just, you can really, these are kind of the things that you want to focus on and then the things that you want to avoid.
Yes, that's awesome. That's very, very useful. And it's funny, like, once you find your type and you wear those clothes that are very fitting and suiting to your body type, not only do you feel like you dropped like 10 pounds, but it's almost like you feel like you're a little bit more dressed up. Like someone, it's just always funny to me because I know my body type and I know what looks good and what doesn't. And after, it was funny, someone mentioned, they're like, "What? Wow, like you lost a lot of weight." And I was like, actually, it's like quite the opposite. Like, it was during like quarantine and we were snacking quite a bit, but it's just like, no, it's just like that you're wearing a flattering type, so you have it wrong, sister.
Right? Absolutely. Like, just, changing your clothes. And it also has such an effect on your mood and your demeanor. I was telling Jamie a story, little TMI, but hopefully someone out there can relate, is in the beginning of quarantine, I went 4 days where I was wearing yoga pants and this favorite oversized t-shirt that I actually stole from my fiance. So it wasn't even my t-shirt, a big oversized t-shirt. I wore it for 4 days. I slept in it. I wore it during the day. I was just working, got up, would start working, wouldn't do anything for myself, realized I stunk a little and that I didn't feel good. I wasn't being productive. I wasn't feeling good about anything I was doing. I was feeling extra down, being stuck inside and lonely. So I started to make an effort. I was like, okay, I need to listen to the things that I preach and talk to my clients about. Started making that effort to, even if I don't have a video call that day or seeing anyone, just getting dressed, taking that time for myself in the morning, because when we are going to work, we usually have the time in the morning before we leave the house to drink our coffee, put our makeup on, whether it's 5 minutes, half an hour, get dressed, take your time, kind of do your thing and have your time in the morning. That is something that quarantine has sort of taken away from us a little bit. So I encourage you all to take it back because it completely changed how I'm able to work throughout the day. I'm more productive. I feel more on top of my game because I'm showing up for how I want to get things done and feel throughout my day.
Yeah,
which is huge.
Absolutely. And even if you don't necessarily want to wear like a pair of jeans, if you don't want to show off, right?
Exactly.
Who's wearing jeans during quarantine? I'm not sure, but you could still wear like, there's like cute joggers you can wear. Maybe you can throw like a little blazer over your tank top or just little things like that you can still be cozy but look cute, right?
Absolutely. So many options. One of my clients, actually at the beginning of quarantine, she was like, I need help. I don't have work from home outfits. And I'm like, we do. You have those in your closet. We just need to tweak them. Yes. And she said, I want to swear off of any pants that don't have elastic. So we're focusing on, I'm like, great, let's wear leggings. Yeah. Let's bring in some tunics and some oversized blazers so that when you're on those Zoom calls, you feel put together and look put together. Yeah. But little does anyone know, you're super comfortable, but you're still showing up for yourself. Or one of my favorite quarantine things, which is now, I've noticed a couple of fashion companies marketing this, is the house dress. Mm-hmm. So kind of taking us ladies back to 1950s women would wear the house dress. But, I mean, it's comfortable. It's summer. It's the perfect time to do that, where you can throw it on. You still feel feminine, but like you've gotten dressed, but you're comfortable. So, yeah, there's so many options. It's just, I feel like it's the act of doing that for yourself and getting dressed and into something that feels good for you.
Yeah. And so I have two questions, and they kind of bleed into one another. But the one is, the one question that when I wasn't really paying attention too much to my clothes, I noticed that pretty much there were 5 different closets in my house. They were all dedicated to my clothes, and then I would it would feel very overwhelming to look into my closet. I would never have anything to wear, and my husband would say, "You have 5 closets of clothes. Like, what are you talking about?" And so, and then this is how it ties into the other question, is because once I got rid of clothes that either didn't suit me or didn't fit me, because sometimes we want to lose weight or get healthy because we want to fit into those old clothes, but would you agree that you find it just as beneficial to like scrap those clothes, maybe find, if you have to size up, again, it helps you feel better, and then you're getting rid, like you can donate those clothes, you can donate to a women's shelter, you can give it to friends, you can just, share it with family members. And then once I was able to clear out my closet, I was able to find clothes that much better and easier, and my mornings were a little bit simpler. So is that considered like a compact closet? Is that what that's called? And do you recommend to your clients to just like get rid of things that don't fit you well, that don't suit you, just give it away, stop holding on to them, right?
Absolutely. So one thing I do with my clients, and it's actually one of my packages that I offer right now, is just, I call it like the closet edit, and we're just going to come in and we're simply just going to clean out your closet, and we're going to make piles with items that we're going to donate and transition out of your closet. We're going to make piles of clothes that we might tailor, because let me tell you, a tailor is every girl's best friend.
Wow.
Going back to if you think about it, women in the 1800s, like even later than that, clothes were made to fit them. They weren't bought off, just bought off the rack, bought off the shelf like we do now, because everything it's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So, as sometimes it is. And that's one thing that I try and kind of instill in my clients is, let's get a tailor. But not to go off track there, but it's important, is really honing in, and that's going back to learning your body and learning what colors fit and learning what style represents you, not putting yourself in a box of like, oh, I'm boho or I'm edgy. Like, no. Like, what values do you have? What things are you attracted to? What things make you feel great? And that's where we create your own vision of yourself, your heroic vision. And then that's your filter for when you clean out your closet. And if there's something that is in there that does not fit within that vision, it's gone. Because you're absolutely right. When there's so much there, it's overwhelming, and it feels like absolutely disastrous.
Yeah.
And you actually feel like you have more clothing when you have less.
Yeah, and I noticed this for sure because these are all things that cause us to feel very overwhelmed throughout the week. Whether it's, I have to go grocery shopping, I have to wash the clothes, I have to fold the clothes, I have to put the stuff away. Like, all of these things can be simplified to make your life that much simpler. So for me, I noticed that when I would wash the clothes and then they would sit on the basement floor or my bedroom floor for weeks, I'm like, clearly I don't care much about these clothes, because if I had a really beautiful piece of clothing that I loved, it would not lay on the floor and I would walk all over it for weeks. Like, that would not happen. So exactly. I'm like, I have to get rid of this stuff. And then it simplified my week tremendously,
Absolutely. It can give you back so much time within your morning, within your day, and give you back some of your energy. Because
Yeah.
if you've ever opened your closet and you're just sit there, or
Yeah, it drains you. Sucks your energy out.
A lot of clients that they can't even, like, it's hard for them to get out of bed because they know that they're going to have to go to their closet and pick something to wear. And they're just completely overwhelmed by it and not sure what to do. So it can be absolutely overwhelming.
Yeah, it's called decision fatigue too. Like where there's almost like too many decisions, or like you really, it drains you. It physically, decision fatigue drains you. That's why people like Tony Robbins or Steve Jobs wore the same thing all the time. Yeah. It's like black shirt, blue jeans. I'm not thinking about it. That's it. I don't have to, like, you know. And then he could have fashioned it up a bit, but
right, absolutely. And that is why, like, everyone, like, loves having, like, a capsule wardrobe.
Yeah.
And if you can really kind of hone that in, it's so great. I definitely, like, think capsule wardrobes are great, as long as there's something that can move throughout your life with you. And where one thing that I love is to get my clients in a place where I call it maintain mode. So you have a great closet where you actually love every single piece that's in it. You know how to wear every single piece that's in it, and you do wear every single piece that's in it.
Yeah.
So if there's other pieces within their closet that they realize they're not wearing, I'm like, tell me that you're not wearing it, and we're going to put it in outfits, make sure you're wearing it. And if you're still not wearing it, then it's not serving you, so it needs to go.
Yes.
And that's kind of how I work as far as that goes.
And Alex, I love that you just said maintain mode and a lifelong, like, pretty much wardrobe. Obviously, styles change and fashion changes, but there are some staples like a solid pair of jeans or a black blazer that will go with a lot of different seasons and fashions and things like that.
Absolutely.
But I love that you said that, because when clients will come to me and they'll say, it's all about, like, weight or losing weight. And I'm like, sister, like, it's not, you really, the scale is so dangerous. Like, I honestly don't remember the last time I weighed myself, but guess what? I know how my body fluctuates, and when I'm, like, gaining weight or when I'm losing weight or when I maintain by how my clothes fit. And so that's a great tool or indicator to have this, like, not only lifelong closet, but you have a guide. Like, obviously, you know, pregnancy and different things and illnesses, they can fluctuate and change our body type, but I think it's a beautiful way to track where you are with your weight, as well as keep maintaining this wardrobe of yours, you know?
Absolutely. And it also goes back to just focusing on where you are right now, because this happens a lot, and this comes up a lot when I start to work with new clients, is they might say, okay, I want to bring in new things, but I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to get to this, or I want to make sure that this happens before I can do that. And it's something where I just very gently, in a, you know, tough love sort of way, just we're going to forget about that, because we're going to focus on who you are right now in this time. Because if we focus on the perfect timing, I guarantee you're never going to feel like it's going to happen, and you're always going to feel like you're stuck in this position that you're in. So focusing on who you are right now, what weight you're at right now. And you might be feeling, oh, my clothes are too tight, so maybe I want to lose a little weight. That's fine. Tailoring, this is where I said tailoring could be your best friend. Mm-hmm. Most items can be taken in 2 sizes and taken out 2 sizes. Yeah. So there's always something to that if awesome, great, you do end up losing that, 15 pounds later on, that wardrobe, we can make that work for you. But if there's something to be said about focusing on uplifting who you are right now and not feeling like you have, your wardrobe is something that you can do something about, that's easier than, all these changes that you feel like are more daunting, and taking those little baby steps to get you there.
And it's seriously a hand in hand, like they go hand in hand, these two things, because when you dress good and you feel good and you feel like you look good when you look in the mirror, are you going to be more likely to grab the donut, or are you maybe going to be more likely to throw yourself together a smoothie, because there's a sense of empowerment that comes along from both of those things. And so it goes hand in hand, which is why I was so happy to talk to you and bring you on the show, because it's really, really so powerful, the combination of the two.
Absolutely. Exactly what you said. Like, it's kind of like, fake it till you make it. Like, okay, I'm going to work on this one thing now that I know is going to make me feel good. And that's going to lead to making other choices that are going to make you feel good.
100%.
And where you want to
100. Be. And then, you know, for me, I say, like, the weight loss is a byproduct. You focus on the good food. Yeah. We're going to focus on feeling good. We're going to focus on having these really beautiful things and clothings. And then the outcome is like the byproduct, what you thought that you wanted, whether it was weight loss or, you know, maybe you were trying to change your clothes to attract someone else. Like, it's a byproduct of you showing up as your best self, and then it translates to, you know, really beautiful things. Oh, this is lovely. So as we wrap up, and we talk about feeling good, and, you know, that's like the whole, it was shared throughout this whole episode here, the power of feeling good. I know that you have something in addition to, like, that additional freebie that we talked about, the body shapes, to share with everyone. But feeling good comes from sometimes opening up your wardrobe and seeing some really powerful, empowering messages. So you mentioned you had something to share with us today. Did you want to go over that?
Yeah, absolutely. So something I shared with Jamie that I want all of you guys to be able to have access to is I call them empowerment principles, and it's something that I personally have been doing since I was a teenager, writing down on sticky notes or printing out quotes and things, affirmations that empower me, images, kind of like a visualization board, having those around, putting little notes on your phone that pop up throughout the day. So what I've created are beautiful visuals with very empowering statements for feeling good that I encourage you all to pick your favorites. If you love them all, print them all. There's 5 in there, and post it in your closet, post it by where you maybe get ready in the morning, in your bathroom, or by a vanity, so that it's there for you. It's a little reminder to just for you to feel good and appreciate yourself and your body and be uplifting.
Yeah, I think that that's beautiful. And when we started this episode, I mentioned that it can be hard for people to sometimes go from a very negative place with themselves and with their relationship with their bodies to this, you know, amazing, loving relationship with their bodies. So I find that especially, you know, affirmations and encouraging words can be a really great gateway to get to whether it's a neutral place or a more positive place. So by instead of, you know, opening up, whether it's looking in the mirror or opening up our wardrobe and being like, getting you like, or you look like such a slob or this and that, to say, okay, all right, we're going to take this one step at a time. This looks okay. Like, we're going to go with the word okay, or you look okay, this looks okay. You know, I'm not going to put myself down. It's going to be very neutral. And then it can gradually increase to things that are very positive. So I appreciate you sharing that, because I think that those words of affirmations are a beautiful reminder that we're on that pathway to loving ourselves the way we want to love ourselves.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yay. Well, thank you. You have been lovely. Thanks for coming on the show. How can everyone find you?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been great. Yes, everyone can find me at my Instagram, which is Millennial Image Concierge. It's a long one. And I have links on there that you can to my email, to other freebies. So yeah, come join me there.
Yay, thanks. And then I will link everything in the show notes also, like the freebie and your name and how to get to your Instagram.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you.